Hey, what's up, guys? I decided to make another video. This time on Heaven's Lost Property, Season 1. I have kind of a funny story with this show. When I was a kid, when I was, first started watching anime, I can't really remember what the first anime I ever watched is, but the one that I loved as a kid the most was Rosario plus Vampire. And on the DVD for this, this isn't the same set, I bought this a while ago, but I had the DVD box set, and they'd always have a trailer for Heaven's Lost Property, and that's just a memory that stuck with me as like up until this day, and I really don't know why. Like it's just a memory I have as a kid, so it makes me kind of nostalgic. And I sold some stuff on eBay. I'm grabbing the wrong thing here, but I sold some stuff on eBay, and I decided I'm gonna get some anime for videos. Continuing My Hero Academia stuff like that, which I finished season 4, so that'll be another video coming soon. Um, but I got this. I got really lucky with this. It turns out these are out of print, so people are selling it on eBay for like $80. And I got really lucky and found some dude selling both of these for like $80 on Macari, and they were brand new. They have some damage to the slip covers, but they're really good. And for like $80 for both of them, which was the cost of season 1, I'm really really happy about it. So I just finished this and I really loved it. It is seriously one of the funniest animes I have seen in a long, long time. Now, like City Hunter had its really funny moments and stuff like that, but this show was genuinely making me laugh. I don't laugh that much. Like I'm kind of like I'll find shit funny, but it takes a good bit for me to laugh. And this show really did that. Like it really did that for me, and it was hilarious. So first of all, I just gotta say, like, I know probably if you're watching this, you've seen it, or whatever. But if you haven't, watch it. Like, real quick, I'm getting right into spoilers, so just warning, I guess. Also, I'm gonna make before I forget, actually, real quick. Sorry, my notebook here. Um, I'm gonna make a video on these separately, and then I'm gonna make a video on the finale movie, which came out 2 years ago, and there's another movie, but I haven't been able to find it. But anyway, so getting into the show, I just really enjoy the premise of this angeloid falling from the sky. He ends up Tomoki ends up you know becoming her master, and there's a romantic thing, and it's kind of somewhat a harem. It's like harem like everything else. I mentioned in my Hero Academia video, by the way. I'm done with ecchi shows or whatever. And I'm just like I'm backtracking basically. Like fuck that. I'm all in. I'm all in. But the plot was just really good. I wish there was a bit more serious moments. I really love the chibi art style. That's like one of my favorite points of the show. When Tomoki's just doing some wild shit, and he's naked like a lot of the fucking time. Like it is wild. Like it's mostly, obviously it's mostly women ecchi type shit, but it's like Tomoki's like naked like as much as the women are. It's fucking crazy. But I really loved like every single character in this show. Nymph took a little while to grow on me, and I actually wrote like in my notes when I was watching it, like it was right after the first fight with Icarus, because she gets sent down to take Icarus back to the. They never give him a name, like the Angel King or whatever, who's like the master of all the Angeloids. Big piece of shit. Can't wait for him to get his fucking ass beat 100%. Like this dude deserves to straight up get murdered. So hopefully that happens somewhere down the line. But yeah, so he was her Nymph's master sent down. So kind of secretive mission, and then she ends up like wanting to stay, getting somewhat of redemption, although she never really did anything that evil. She did end up deciding, I want to be with Tomoki and I want to stay with with my friends. And at the end of that, I'm hoping Tomoki actually does end up becoming her master like she wants. I don't know if that's like a special thing just for Icarus, but I don't know, but I'm hoping not. But like I said, all the characters I really liked. Like everyone had like point to shine. I had a moment where I was like, I literally wrote in my notes, I love this character. This character's great. Not my favorite, obviously, but really good character. And then some shit happened. I was like, okay, well you took a hit down. You took a hit down, and that was the island episode where they go. Tomoki ends up like his house ends up getting destroyed. Actually, let me go back, because that episode was one of the funniest in the show, with the exploding panties. Where sorry, so Hara makes like Icarus do something, like gives her a wish, and her wish is like every panty that he sees explodes, because the episode before that he like made all the panties like fly and they become birds and shit. It was fucking ridiculous, but that shit was funny as fuck too. But it was like Tomoki's like doing this whole war and shit like against these panties, and it was just like a funny fucking episode where it's like everything's exploding. I love the point like where they kind of let him get a little bit back at her, like when he says, "Oh, there's a bug on your wall," and she bends over and he sees the panties, so her panties explode, and then he has to like escape his house while Icarus and her are going out for lunch. So that was just really really funny, and it's like this whole battle thing, and then she ends up getting trapped in the house, and and Mikata, Mikako, ends up like sending him back, and they're like, "You have to save her," and then Sugata is like, if you send anyone else in, the panties won't explode. Like, it's not dangerous, and she's like, "Yeah." So that was really funny to me. So he ends up saving her from that giant like robot he created to hide his porn stash. So anyway, his house gets destroyed. Just getting back to the island episode. Like after that, I was like, okay, I really like Mikako. Um, and by the way, I do want to mention this. I was watching this in dub before I forget, just because that was like the trailer was in dub, and Rosario Plus Vampire is one of those animes I will always watch dub, just because my childhood and stuff like that. So anyway, I think this show would not be near as funny. I think I've been a little too harsh on dubs recently, where like 90% of what I watch is is sub, but I don't think this show would be near as funny. I think it probably still would be, but without the voice actors. Like it's like Tomoki just hits. Like that guy is like hilarious. The shit he does, and he goes wilder than Rio, and that is what from City Hunter. You've watched the channel before. I made a lot of videos on City Hunter adaptations. City Hunter, Angel Heart, City Hunter. Anyway, that was like something where I'm like actually sitting there. I'm like, he's going wilder than Rio. Like he goes batshit. Like when he decides to become a woman to get into the female bass, and he's like grabbing all the tits and stuff, and he's just going hog wild. He starts like shooting lasers. And I don't know if that was what was actually happening or not, but that shit was fucking crazy. Um, so it's just, wild. Like he goes way out of his way. But I do like it when he's, serious and stuff too. I wish there was a little bit more seriousness. There is serious moments, like pretty serious moments. But I mean like with Tomoki, where he's like, where you understand why why the Angeloids, Icarus and Nymph care for him, which they did give enough of that. I do think they give enough. I just would have liked a little bit more. But yeah, so that was something where I was really like just enjoying that. But the serious moments were serious, like with finding out Icarus was a kind of a war machine angeloid who killed a whole bunch of people under her master's orders. Which I'm like, once again, that dude's a piece of shit. Like the dude kind of reminds me of what the fuck is the villain from Sword Art Online? The one like who traps Asuka. It's crazy that I can't remember her name. So that was another anime I used to watch a lot of time. Um, in the where she can't leave the thing, and he was creepy as fuck, like the elf guy or whatever. But yeah, so it reminds me of that, and that guy like fucking, I hated him too. It was sweet as fuck when Kirito stabbed him. Anyway, I'm going off. I'm going off. But either way, piece of shit. When he makes Nymph kill the bird, I was like, damn. I'm glad they didn't show it, because that would have been like actually too much. Like that's just like damn. But you see the blood on her hands, and he's just laughing. He's got his fucking evil bitches with him. Like fuck them too. Like I don't fuck with no evil bitches out here for real. Like nah. But but yeah. So that was another one. He wasn't there too much. We never even get a full look at his face. So I'm assuming, I think there's gonna be a showdown between Tomoki and him, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't think we ever got his name, because I really feel like all these Angelites are choosing to stay with him. And if you've seen the show, at the end of the season they tease a third Angeloid, which is I literally don't remember her name. I think they showed her name on screen, but it's a blonde one. and she's another like fighter Angeloid, but I'm assuming she's gonna decide to stay with Tomoki too. So anyway, so that was just something where it's like I feel like it's gonna be between them. I mean, not him actually fighting, although that would be pretty sweet where they do that. So but either way, so what also I forgot to mention, but one of the reasons I did decide, like I just said, oh, I thought about getting it, is I saw this during the Amazon Day Prime sale, which is where I got a couple of animes for good deals. But I saw this and I'm like, there's an ending, like, cause it literally says the movie Eternally My Master Final. So I was like, okay, it has an ending. Like I don't think I would have spent this much if it didn't have an ending because like I said, one of my favorite animes like when I was a kid, and I think it still holds up. I just need to rewatch it. Was this. And just to hear it as an ending is like, okay, I definitely need to check that out. But I think that's what's going to happen is the showdown between that. Because all they did now was she ended up beating two Angeloids, more evil bitches, bro, which I'm just like, all right, like when they ripped out Nymph's wings, I'm like, I cannot believe this shit, dude. Like that was fucked. Like I did not like that. Well, obviously, like if you do like it, you're a piece of shit, so fuck you. But, but yeah, no, that was foul. Surprisingly, that wasn't the last episode though. The last episode was kind of more of a funny episode with Tomoki, just going hog wild again, where he, first tries to becomes a woman again to go to go peep on the girls. Gets caught. No, actually, yeah, he becomes a girl. Then he becomes the floor, so he can look up girls' skirts and panties and stuff like in the changing room. And he's like, okay, I have to go like to the water park, and he's just going fucking wild, like sneaking around all this shit. And they turn it like Nymph ends up like giving it this thing where he can't swim, like he forgot how to swim, but then he comes up with a plan to turn up like the with Icarus, which I love that she like helps him with this. There is no like with Icarus, like she's there. Like, there's always like this kind of like where she kind of stops him, but it's not her. Like Icarus doesn't do that, which I find funny. Like she just goes with it because, either way, but so like she ends up turning up the waves because she found out that like, someone's bra came off when he did that. But he's learns how to swim again just for this, and then he's swimming, but like he gets caught up in the waves. I think then he kind of forgets how to swim again, so he's just sinking at the bottom, and he keeps thinking like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna drown!" And then he'll like it's like a whirlpool, so it goes around in a circle, and then he sees like the women. He's like, "That's not so bad." Like, and he just keeps like freaking out, and then he'll see him again, and he's like, "You know what? Just take me." Basically, I was like, "That is fucking wild." This man was ready to die. This man like straight up was like, "You know what? Okay." And that was fucking insane to me. That was one that got me too, like where it was just like they kept doing the thing of like, oh no, oh no, I'm gonna drown. Okay, like it just funny as fuck. But so that was a good one. But I feel like it was weird that it was the last episode. The only big thing that really happened there was right at the end. The new Angel Lake comes down, and then um he ends up having a dream with that other angeloid. I don't know if it's an angeloid or not. I really want to know the secret behind that because I'm very curious, like what it has to like. What is that? Like what is connected? Um, Something it kind of reminds me of is he's seeing this angel in his dreams and they love each other and but he wakes up, she keeps getting torn away from him, and I think that they said she's trapped there somewhere. Like they've explained that, like that's why she can't be with him, but like is there actually something that happened between them? Like is this I have no clue. Like I really want to know the explanation for that. Where it was like, they were in love and they wanted to be together and he's like, crying and stuff when he wakes up because he just feels that loss. So that's like a mystery I'm very, very interested in. Like who she is, how they know each other, do they know each other? Like yeah, they do, but I don't know. But it reminds me of this visual novel I played. I forget the one, but it came out semi recently about the robot girl who doesn't have emotions. It's kind of like Icarus, and then um, there's like the guy. I don't want to spoil it, but it's fucking crazy. And then he has like a dream, and the robot girl's in the dream, like teaching him how to build her earlier and like smarter and stuff. So anyway, interesting stuff. But so that's something like that's probably the mystery I'm most interested in. Like not really like I don't really care who the fuck the Angel King is or whoever the fuck this guy is. Like I do want to know more about that, like what's going on up there. But like seriously, like I'm just really curious on that. And they kind of just skim past it, like where it's like in the beginning, it seems like it's gonna be very important, but then occasionally, he's having these dreams, but he's not talking to her anymore. Like he's just laying there. He's like, and she talks to him, but it seems like he can never really hear what she's saying. So I just felt like that was kind of a wasted opportunity, when she warns him of a nymph coming because she knows that she's there to get Icarus. So that was one of those things where I'm like, okay, um, just give me more of that. So yeah. So I also, just like I mentioned, I kind of skipped over Sugata in general. Sugata was a great character. Also in that episode where he becomes a girl and they're like, he helps him out, he gives him the card so he can become a woman to do that, and then just Sugata was legendary. Sugata and Mikako. I hope that they get together. I feel like there's something there in general, but I just found that shit great. Like I said though, she really did take a hit with the island thing where it turns out that it was fake, and her and sorry, Sohara and Tomoki are like trapped on this island and they almost kiss. Which something else that happened. I'm just gonna go past that 'cause it's like that's really all I gotta say. Like she really pissed me off with that. But something that happened that I really really enjoyed. Well, not really enjoyed, but they kissed. Like Icarus killed Jesus, kissed Tomoki, and they don't really go back on like talk about it or whatever. Um, but that was something that happened where I'm like, okay, like there was no fake out because there were a couple fake outs this season where it seems like they're gonna kiss and they don't, and that's something that really fucking pisses me off because I'm just so tired of that. Like it's such a cliche, and it's like just to hold them back or whatever. But she says that she loves him and she's always loved him, and once again they're just like I guess friends or whatever, but they're not together. But then it's like I don't know, like there are other characters I could see him getting with too that I wouldn't mind, Sohara. Like they have good chemistry too. But once again, it's obviously gonna be Icarus, and I do want it to be Icarus, but it's just like I do enjoy Sohara, even though she's mostly the one who stops his pervy antics with beating his ass. Which you always got to have one of those. Your Kaori, like Jesus, sounds like I can't say it right, but like in City Hunter, the wet blanket. Although Rio has multiple wet blankets, but it seems like in this it's mostly just Sohara, and Mikako just kind of goes along with it, like whatever, he sees her butt ass naked and she's just like, okay, whatever. Um, yeah. So another thing I didn't like though was how they end up going to school, and they have their wings. Nymph can hide her wings, but Jesus, but Icarus can, and they just like they're doing all the shit. They're flying around. People see them, and nobody quite like everybody's just like okay, whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, really, like this is what we're doing, like like the New World Club, all seeing them becoming friends and shit. I like that. I like that a lot. But it's just like these random people who we don't even know. Like there are no other fucking main characters. In the episode where Icarus fights Nymph, there's that old woman in the that's not a main character, but like the old convenience community center woman, which I was like top 10 anime villains, but because she was fucking crazy. But yeah, there's like no other main characters, and I don't mind that. I don't mind that. At first I was mixed on Nymph, and she really did grow on me, and I hope that Tomoki does end up becoming her master or something along those lines. But everyone in the show I really like. Sugata and Tomoki's friendship is just great. But literally I'm about to run out of time for this video, so that's about it. Peace.